This one coming up is so good.
Okay.
This is my favorite type
Chad
of
Daniels
guy.
Kelsey.
Yes.
So this is their podcast.
Hello.
And she really looks bad on their podcast. And they do this. How much? 2.9K views. 2 weeks ago, 2.9K. Most of those are Jules.
Yes.
Clicking and refreshing. This is how their podcast goes every week. It's at their shitty little apartment. She decides to wear no makeup and let everything sag and show you how gross that she really is. Sorry.
Jesus.
I mean, you do. Put on some fucking makeup. And if you are wearing makeup, put on more and cover your arms, suck in the gut, hold those things up. They're sagging downtown. And Chad always sits with a pillow over his balls, dick, and gut. We don't know why. We're trying to figure out. Every podcast episode, he sits there with that pillow over his gut. Let's see how they intro the beautiful show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Pretend Problems podcast. I'm Jason Bourne's girlfriend.
Oh,
H.
yeah,
Pearl Davis. They're calling her H.
If you're
Pearl
watching on
Davis
YouTube.
in the chat. H. Pearl Davis is what they're calling her in the chat. Pretty good. I didn't know she had this strawberry hair.
H. Pearl Davis is nice. Well, she just got a new hairdo.
H. Pearl Davis is way better than her. By the way, we are
Fans.
Davis heads. How do you do it? Her sign? Does she have a...
Just call me Jules Davis.
We love H. Pearl Davis. We can't get enough of her. If you're bothered by H. Pearl Davis, that's like getting trolled by Matan. That's like... Really, it is. It's the same thing. If you don't get H. Pearl... You really don't get it. Okay, let's get a load of this.
Somebody cut off 8 inches of their hair and dyed it red. And it turns out if you go perform and talk about it, a lot of people think that something terribly wrong has happened in your life. I was in Baltimore over the weekend performing at Magooby's, and I walked on stage and a woman was like,
Watch what he says.
happened? And I was like, well.
So she's talking about her hair and she's going, yeah, if you cut your hair, people think something terrible's happened. No, they don't. Especially when you only cut off, 3 inches? Nobody is looking at her going, oh my God, she gave her hair a trim. Is something wrong? But she's thinking that we're going to think that.
A hairdo is a big deal too. Every time I cut my hair super short, they always go, "Are you sure?" As if it means that you're having a meltdown.
Oh, really? Is that what it means to girls? To cut off a few inches like this? Her hair was right here.
I'm not saying it means that to me, but people act like that when you...
Maybe they act like that if you're fucking dating Chad Daniels and they think something's up. Watch what Chad says about this, though.
Terribly wrong has happened in your life. I was in Baltimore over the weekend performing at Magooby's, and I walked on stage and a woman was
How
like,
disgusting
what
is he?
happened? And I was like, well, no death in the family. Just wanted a little change. But yeah, this is, I'm enjoying the change so far. I've just learned that I have to style it. I think girls, when their hair is long, you can be lazier about it and it will still look feminine, like if it's just down. Mm-hmm. But the shorter your hair gets, if you do nothing to it and you're not wearing makeup, for me, if it's straight, it gets a little like Professor Snape-ish.
Can I do a girl's
or Lord
hair
Farquaad.
seg at the beginning of Red Bar?
Yeah, that would be great. Do you think her hair looks good like this? Or do you think
She forgot to crimp the back.
When she turns, you see there's a big straight piece on the back like a complete fool.
But other than that, she looks great.
Well, I'll tell you this. I think your hair looks like boogers. Yep. Your hair reminds me of a bunch of boogers. And you look boogery all together. And you look like a
she looks
booger.
Great.
You have the same color hair as a booger. You both look like a couple of
his hair is green.
Boogers. Yeah, your hair is green, sir. Greenish beige. Like a disgusting booger, which I had permanently removed. By the way, I go to the doctor once a year. I have it all permanently removed while I'm under, because that's how sick a booger is to me. Seriously. They're sitting on a pistachio couch. I just wanted to hear what Chad says about her haircut. Listen to this.
Quad, or just, there's lots of men with like a bob.
This was shocking to me.
That is not the look for me, but.
Well, no worries here. Huge change looks wise, and just waiting for that gym membership to show up in the mail. Anyways.
What? What does that mean?
I was just kidding. Normally when people make a huge change like that, it's, it's just because.
Wait, I don't understand. Sorry, I'm so...
Normally when a woman cuts her hair like this and changes their look and goes to the gym a whole bunch, it's because they're fucking someone.
Oh. You're worried she's cheating on you? I can't believe you just said that during the opening. And look, she's actually getting mad worried. Look at this. I got to see this go down again.
Change like that, it's it's just because.
Wait, I don't understand. Sorry,
whoa! Run!
Normally when a woman cuts her hair like this and changes their look and goes to the gym a whole bunch, it's because they're fucking someone.
Oh, geez.
I'll get right to it.
Did you see the face he makes? Watch when he says, I'll get right to it. Look at
this. A
whole
bunch, it's because they're fucking someone.
No. I gotta get that face for you. Here we go.
Like this and changes their look and goes to the gym a whole bunch, it's because they're fucking someone.
Oh.
Whoa. I mean,
you don't have to stand for this, girl.
Get away from him. What are you doing? Are you tricked into thinking he's like a big time comic and you're like, you look up to him? He is not. He is the laughingstock of the comedy community.
She was telling this story on Bert's podcast where she was like, on our first date, he like wouldn't even speak to me or look at me. And I was like, are you having any fun? And he was like, yeah.
Are you having any fun in this relationship or you don't know any better? How could you possibly like him?
I don't know.
Watch this.
I'll get right to it. I try to skirt around these things and you're like, I twirl my hair, but I lost 8 inches of it.
Excuse me.
I truly did not understand.
I get it.
You're really worried that she's having an affair with you and she cut her hair and that's the sign she's having an affair?
I don't like it when a girl gets a haircut and a guy just brushes it off like it's... When I get a haircut, Mike is like planning my haircut almost. He's so into the haircut.
Oh, of course. Well, you gotta, she'll cut it all off. Like Ellen, who we like. She'll cut it all off if I'm not in charge.
Like Emma Chamberlain.
Like Emma Chamberlain, who farted in camera and also forgot to wipe. Emma Chamberlain forgot to wipe and then farted right into the lens last week. She's losing it. She's losing her touch. Okay.
We've had an interesting past week. Like I said, I was in Baltimore. I got to go to the Maryland State Fair, which was a sight to behold. I didn't realize how spoiled...
Oh, so you're racist, Baltimore, huh? You're talking about Baltimore? That must mean you're racist.
For the next 5 minutes, they talk about how amazing Chance the Rapper is.
Oh, do they really?
You care about that?
Maybe. Is it funny?
Ones, I can't...
No, that's okay. Give me another code. Okay,
so 0745. I think it's explained itself.
Okay, here we go. Chad Daniels.
It's not.
I'm going to say this as concisely as possible, and it's going to make me sound even worse than I normally sound. But I'm smarter than a lot of people.
Oh, this is happening. So we've seen smarts guys here and there. We've heard Logan Paul talk about how he is a sapiosexual. He looks for intelligence, unlike most people. Chad Daniels is joining this sapio movement here. Listen to this.
Worse than I normally sound. But I'm smarter than a lot of people. And when they're being dumb and being fucks, it makes me mad. It's like, pick it up.
You're going to love this.
Pick up the pace. Make your decision faster. Do better. Right? I've talked about this. My therapist is always like, just remember, people are doing the best they can do with the tools that they have in that moment. It's like,
oh, by the way, Chad Daniels has a wife and kid that left him after 17 years. Chad Daniels just got divorced, I think, last year. After 17 years of marriage, his wife left him. He has a kid, and then he shacked up with her in some apartment. So imagine, and he might have had a wife before that. But imagine what it would be. 17 years you're with someone, and you leave them after 17 years. Think about how crazy he must be if his wife had to leave him after 17 years. There's so much Daniels lore.
I know.
He's such a bad guy, and I love that the comics are all propping him up now. We might see him around. We'll see. If Chad Daniels ain't around, I might not care as much. But if he thinks he's popping in, we're going to talk about that marriage. We're going to find out how that fell through. Every time I put on an episode of him, it's nonstop, the crazy shit you'll hear. Listen to this.
These are your tools? This is your best? Then it's time to fucking say goodnight. Do the world a favor and be done with it.
Oh my God.
He knows
Why
it
can't
all.
you go full Japanese, end your bloodline? Just do it. It's taking so long. Fuck. So anyways,
watch this.
I don't have an excuse. I was hoping for one too. I went in to get medication for ADHD and I came out with a full prescription of fucking ego pills. And it's not great.
Listen to this.
It's not great. Next time you see me, I might be wearing a fucking cape. These scores were ridiculous.
Scores. He's claiming, he's about to say this, that he went in to get prescribed to for Adderall at the age of 70 or whatever he is. That's insane. So he wanted drugs. Imagine your dad getting prescription to Adderall. How nuts that would be. You'd be like, Dad, what is going on? So he goes in to get an Adderall prescription and is claiming that without his knowledge, his doctor administered an IQ test. And he didn't know he was taking an IQ test. And when he left, his scores were so remarkable that now he left with, how he just calls them, ego pills. Listen to this tale. He's going to talk about it now, right? Here we go.
I might be wearing a fucking cape. These scores
IQ test scores.
The reason Chad says that he is smarter than most people is because he has been clinically tested to be smarter than most people. We didn't know this going into the testing because the woman didn't tell him what each test was.
You don't remember answering 700 questions? You took a verbal IQ test that you didn't remember happening. You didn't know was happening. And you got scores that say you have a high IQ? I don't know. I don't know. Listen to this.
People. We didn't know this going into the testing because the woman didn't tell him what each test was. So she was giving him an IQ test in addition to the ADHD test. And
that's what he told you.
I don't even know if there were other tests too. But fucking Mensa over here, we already knew. It's like, okay, you tested a long time ago. We knew you were in Mensa. But you would say to me, you'd be like, oh, that was a long time ago. Who knows? I'm probably not as smart anymore or whatever. This motherfucker got in the 99th percentile of people for IQ.
Show the results. So you're one of the smartest people on Earth?
Yep.
Chad Daniels.
We're fucked.
The dumbest guy I've ever fucking met this season is also the smartest guy in the world. You're like Elon. So you must just have that Elon autism and you're a genius, right? Where's your rocket ship? All he has is a terrible Netflix special. So where's the genius going?
In the 99th percentile of people for IQ. Like actual Einstein level IQ. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. On one hand, it's so fucking hot to me. Like,
sure.
Ooh, I just love it so much.
And I think she knows this is bullshit, but she's so embarrassed of him that she has to say stuff like this. So people go, oh, well, she's with him. He's very smart, apparently. We don't see it, of course.
It's like, you don't want that.
You don't want this, and that is not hot to you.
He's not
These are
let
excuses.
You forget it either.
Listen to this.
So fucking hot to me. Like,
it's not hot to you. This is a lie.
I just love it so much. And on the other hand, I'm like, you don't need that information. How am I ever going to win another fight in this relationship when the person I'm with is like, no, I actually know that statistically I'm smarter than you?
Well, two things. I'm not smarter
He's
than
a mansplainer,
you. You are smarter
too.
than me because I want to make something very clear. I scored high on this fucking one test. Who cares? This is a test.
On this one arbitrary test called the IQ test.
Yeah. But IQ doesn't.
He's almost Josh Denny. You know, when he looked up in the air here, I almost saw Denny in his face.
Test called the IQ test.
Yeah.
That's almost a thin Denny. We got a new Denny, and he's rich.
But IQ doesn't translate to being smart. Like, you have to. Here's the thing. Like, I probably could read some stuff and figure it out.
Yeah.
And then that would make me smart. But I'm not going to read the stuff. I don't care about learning about stuff that I don't need to know all the stuff.
That's hot.
I'm just like, whatever. So I do have a high IQ, but I'm not smart. And an example of that is when she handed me my paper, I thought I had an IQ of 191, but it was 160 when I was holding it upside down. So I'm not smart. I'm actually pretty dumb with just a decent number.
You know, I've been prescribed every medication on this planet. I have never had a doctor sneak in an IQ test. I mean, if she did, wouldn't that take some time? Wouldn't you be like, what's going on here? What's with all these math questions? There's no way she gave you a verbal IQ test without you knowing. While you're trying to get prescribed to Adderall. There's just no way.
And he made up this whole fake story about how he thought it was 191 just so he could say the number because she wasn't going to bring it up.
Wow. Now I want to see how that looks. Do we have a sheet of paper here? Let me draw my notebook. I just want to see if that even checks out, you know? So he's saying that it was 161.
He said, I'm so stupid.
Yeah.
She gave me the paper. I thought it said 191.
Yeah.
But it was actually 161.
Why would you read the paper like that? You know what I mean? Wasn't everything else upside down? Why would you grab the paper
on a little sheet of paper and slid it across the table?
It doesn't make sense. No, she like added it on top of what I'm guessing is a printed form with a bunch of other words. So why would you assume it was 191? Wouldn't you go, well, every other word is facing the other way, so.
He wanted to say the number.
Wow, look at this sneaky fucking guy.
His brain was going, how do I make sure the number is said quick?
It's crazy. You know, I Googled who else has IQs of 160, and it's a fucking crazy list. It's like Stephen Hawking, Einstein.
Getting a little nervous there? Little nervous that you're up there with those guys? You've never invented anything. You'd be inventing non-stop if you were as smart as Albert G. Einstein. This is crazy.
Like all of these people who like changed the world.
Right. And guess what I'm going to do with it? Not a fucking thing.
It's because it's a lie.
I used to be like, so let me get this straight. There's a bunch of scientists that are building golf clubs so nerds like me can hit it 5 yards further.
Yeah.
And there's like all these...
That's an abuser's sport. We all know that. Aaron Emholt, he's hit the links. I know there's a lot of good golfers out there. I don't know, though. I really think about you. If you golf, haven't you done a bunch of bad stuff, too, where you think bad thoughts? Just be honest with yourself. You don't got to get mad. Think about, do you do a lot of mean stuff? I'd say maybe 1 out of every 10 golfers is an innocent, got caught up in the game. I don't know.
Why do you need so much quiet? Why do you have to clear
why
your
do you
mind,
need to be away from... Really, I don't like it. This is...
in the little cart.
Guys who like to golf, I don't think they like their wives or their marriage very much. I don't know. That could be... I know that's pissing a lot of these tea timers off. But golf is sus to me. Tiger Woods. Top golfer. Top abuser. Aaron Emholt. One of the best golfers in Minnesota. He's practicing his swing all around. Ellen was talking about this. Practicing the invisible swing. Okay.
Scientists making Head and Shoulders shampoo, new and improved Head and Shoulders shampoo. It's like, why the fuck aren't they all? You should have to... Like when I was in Singapore doing stand-up, we talked to this guy. It is it is mandatory
Yeah.
that you do, it's mandarintory that you do
That's funny.
2 years civil service, whether that is
well, you are not civil at all. Do we have another code here with these two?
What time are you at?
I am at oh wait, hold on. I am at 11:59. It works better without these.
You can keep playing from here.
Okay, let's do it.
fighter, police officer,
CD,
armed forces,
Whoa.
that kind of stuff. And they get you from 18 to 20 when you're actually fucking healthy. Like the healthiest you're going to be, they want those people doing that.
Yeah.
And so you have to do it. It's like the public service that comes with being able to be alive in that country.
That's
And
kind of
so
awesome.
my question is, why? I used to think, why aren't these scientists being made to fucking for 2 years try to figure out cancer?
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah.
But instead they're working on golf clubs. So you went to school for 8 years to fucking figure out golf clubs.
Yeah.
But now guess what?
it's
I
called
have
money.
this huge number and I'm not going to do a fucking thing with it. I'm not going to learn anymore. I'm not going to try harder. I'm certainly not going to do anything. That
I mean,
those
this is your classic humble brag. Of course, you can't just walk around and go, I have the Giants' score. And he's got a little sense left, right? So he does the humble brag. This was very popular, 8 or 9 years ago, this humble brag. Remember this? This blew up. People talking about that. And he's killing it. And she must know. She's got to know. Look at this. Again, it's trauma. What he's doing to her is the same as a kidnapping in my mind. Really. And I don't know why she can't get out of this. Why would you want to be with him in any shape or form?
people did. I'm just sitting here with a number. Who knows? She was texting her daughter. I might have fucking failed the test. I have no idea.
Oh my God.
No.
I don't know.
But it is, I'm not going to do the one thing I have in common with the three people you mentioned.
Yeah.
Albert Einstein.
Well, at least one of the people that you mentioned is that I would be able to move a wheelchair by blowing into a straw. It's like, I fucking can figure that out. 161, bitches.
How long has he been doing that one? How long has he been thinking about that? These are remember, these are stand-up comedy. Oh, they're writing. They're writing everything. Cheating.
Go forward. And then I'd fucking suck it in to try to go backwards, and that isn't how it works, probably. I'd be like
just swallowing all your spit you just blew in there.
Just choking on it, like, oh no, what's happening? So these tests are so dumb. I mean, you know who's smart by talking to them, and you know who's not by talking to them.
Right.
And so many times I'm not.
Oh, that's for sure.
But anyways, I don't have ADHD. That's the point of all of this.
I know.
Is that she said, oh, well, there's
You know anything he lies to you about? That's amazing how you take all of his lies and assume they're fact and reality. Or maybe you don't, because I'm looking at you. You want
She's
out.
Planning something.
We'll get you out. We'll help you out. Would you like a nice severance package from Red Bar to get out? I'll give you $2,600 to get out. Just nothing, no strings attached. You dump him, $2,600 wired to you immediately. How does that sound? That could be that's a nice chunk of change.
some in the pre-questionnaire. You flagged some things that were ADHD, whatever. Like my feet move a lot when I watch movies.
Yeah.
But it's normally when music's on. So sorry, I fucking love music. And then there was one about like a lot of my teachers used to say not living up to his potential.
Okay, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, yeah.
You can go to 1730.
1730. CD. And what's your name? Kelsey Keys?
Kelsey Keys.
What's your real name?
Kelsey Cook.
Kelsey Cook. Kelsey Cook. Got it. Thank you. Okay, let's see. And I really don't like the pillow over the boner or whatever you're doing. Do you even have... I bet he's got a little tiny fucking thing. You know? Little tiny schmendrick, a little tiny pinky with a bunch of freckles and a crink.
That means that there are 99% of other people who do not think like you think. And you're going to keep running into them, and it's going to keep frustrating you.
And I also think doing this complaining about everything, oh, you're taking too long in line, that's stealing from the people of Israel and is cultural appropriation.
Wow.
I don't think whites should do Jewish style humor.
I don't like watching a Christian do Jewish humor. Yeah, that is kind of, cultural appropriation. Yeah. Don't do that. You got to stick to your vanilla, disgusting Christian takes.
Yep.
We don't want to hear you trying to be a cool Jewish person. Okay? All right, let's see what he does here.
Don't move as fast as you don't.
Do I need any hints for this one?
This is just... No, you'll get it.
I'll get it.
Even we just went golfing, and I was the first hole, and I was like trying to gather my things, and I was actually telling myself like, all right, try to move a little quickly, because he gets cranky if it's like too much lollygagging.
He gets cranky at the mini golf course or the regular golf course? If it's too much lollygagging, he gets cranky. He gets cranky, and she takes it. She puts her head down. Of course she's not Jewish. Look at his fucking boogery face.
Cranky.
Well, you get like...
That's aggressive. I do get like, hey, chop, chop. You know?
I don't get cranky. I do get, hey, chop, chop. Imagine saying this to your wife. No wonder the other one left you after 17 fucking years. We're interviewing your kid. Next. Look at this. Cranky.
Well, you get like...
That's aggressive. I do get like, hey, chop, chop. You don't need to put the tee and the ball and your ball marker back in the bag from one green.
And this is how he talks to her. In front of people. With cameras. Can you believe that? Imagine how he must treat her.
The tee box.
Which
like, I know you don't.
I don't. Yeah,
I'm just saying. But like if that happens, I'm like, why don't we keep it out?
Right.
Why don't we not have to repeat this process 18 times?
For sure,
that would drive me crazy.
Honey, my IQ. Honey, my IQ. Thank you. That's how he gets out of an argument. Hon, my IQ. Let's not go there unless you want to take a test. We could take an online test right now. It's up to you. I'm not going to make you, but my IQ. Watch it.
Yeah.
Sure. But I don't think I'm cranky with you. But go ahead.
He's Crowder. This is Crowder. Very Crowder-like. Did you see Crowder's wife is going around trying to hint that Crowder is actually gay? I'm not kidding.
Let me just read her tweet.
Yeah, read it real quick. Hillary Crowder has been talking in third person or eighth person, whatever different type of person than she is.
Her Twitter rules.
Hillary Crowder, day in and day out, is making these vague tweets, but they're all obviously about Stephen S. Crowder.
But the other day she said, the logical conclusion that many of the loudest voices in the manosphere that hold such contempt for women are deeply closeted. They have very little, if any, attraction to women. Even if they never act on it, their true desire is to be with another man.
The loudest voices, like louder with Crowder?
Easter eggs.
Hillary says that he's a closeted homosexual, basically, which is what we all couldn't even believe.
That didn't really get that much attention. And
that's
all
crazy.
Of the people in the replies.
Say that one more time, because I think that's worth hearing again.
The logical conclusion is that many of the loudest voices in the manosphere that hold such contempt for women are deeply closeted. They have very little, if any, attraction to women. Even if they never act on it, their true desire is to be with another man.
That's Stephen Crowder's wife.
Yes.
How many likes?
Only 491.
That's a lot of likes for a wife. That's a lot of likes for a wife.
But everyone in her replies were like, yeah, I don't know, that could be true in some cases, but I don't think definitely. And it's like, she's talking about Crowder. So confirmed Crowder is gay. It's either that or its wife is Matan level, which I can't see.
I'll let you tell the story and then I will rebut it.
Okay.
Listen to this.
Can't wait. But I even have in mind that you don't like things to drag. And so I was like quickly trying to grab my ball, my tee, my stuff, because it's the first hole. So I don't like have it out yet. And you're like, hey, I don't remember.
Don't touch him.
I don't remember exactly what you said.
Let's touch.
It was like, hey, like, Are we golfing or are we listening to music? Because there's going to be people behind us. And I was
You
like,
did put music on, and you were dancing while you were doing all the stuff.
let's put an asterisk
Okay,
next
that's
to
why I
dance.
put this in because, okay, you can rush someone. Maybe your stupid wife is being slow,
Yeah.
but to tell someone to not dance, that's cool.
To not dance at the golf course? It's a bizarre place to not dance. I tell her to not dance all the time. Please do not dance. I understand,
I don't
but
think
not
you
at the
would do
golf
that.
course. No. Is there any more to that?
I was bopping. I was just grabbing.
Okay, but that's dancing to me. So, and you have to trust me because I have a high IQ. So that's dancing.
See? I'm like,
I know.
He's not
I'm
kidding.
obviously just
Damn
kidding.
it, I know.
And I want to
You're not.
reiterate one more time, just in case you stepped away while we started this conversation. I know a high IQ and these dumb fucking tests do not mean you're smart.
Brother.
So many times I'm dumb, and so many times I'm dumb, and people will say to me, they'll say like, hey man, maybe don't juggle those bricks by that glass thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, I just was juggling because I thought I could juggle. And then I go, I shouldn't do that. And so when I have that feeling, I think maybe when I say something, the people are going to be like, oh yeah, I shouldn't be doing that. But anyways, so
Okay, you can go to
were-
2220.
Wow, he is terrible, huh? And it doesn't stop. I mean, any part of this
Yes,
show you put
it
on
would be.
is like
you could
this.
get lost in him.
Do I need to know
easy.
anything about this clip?
Just play it.
Okay.
my God.
I know. I did say when I was like, there's going to be no living with me. She was giving me these results and being like, I've been doing this for 35 years and I've never seen a 20 and you got 3 of them. And I'm like, well, there's some fucking lucky guesses in there then.
No.
Because I didn't leave this thing thinking like, nailed it.
Okay, pause.
Yeah.
I mean,
Of course, you wouldn't leave it thinking nailed it if you didn't know the secret test was happening.
Yeah.
Because you thought it was just an ADHD
Leave this thing.
test.
What do you mean leave this thing? So now
you
you're
did know
kind of
about the IQ test.
look at this. There was no IQ test. It never happened. He's been lying about his IQ his whole life, and he's come up with a few little cover stories that he's thought about 1,000 times in that shower while washing that little fucking nothing of a nub. And he's concocted these lies. We spoke with his doctor. Okay, we reached out. It's very easy to do. She said, absolutely not. I would never give him that test. I hate him. She said, I hate his guts. Okay, let's hear.
This is in there then.
No.
Because I didn't leave this thing thinking like, nailed it.
Yeah, because you said you didn't know there was an IQ test. I mean, that's really bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, I left
He
it
knew.
knowing that it took longer than normal.
Yeah.
But I just I just don't
than
fucking
what?
care.
For an
I just
IQ test or
I really
an
would.
ADHD test.
I thought you said you did not know you were getting an IQ test, and she gave you the results at the end. Surprise! I did an IQ test on you. You didn't know.
so.
You were
he
here.
asked for an IQ test, so because he knew he had. a
Remember
high
when
IQ
you were
from
here for
before.
3 hours with a number 2 pencil silently doing the test? No? There was no
he
test.
told her because she was the one who said the doctor snuck in these questions mixed in with the ADHD test. So he probably
Yeah.
told her that because he didn't want her to know he's secretly requesting tests behind her back.
he could be no,
he can
because if
show
he was
her up.
requesting the test, then he could have gotten that score. There's no way he got the score. And the ADHD doctor, I could be wrong. I don't think they do those tests. And I don't think that they're qualified or accredited to give you any type of score. It's the doctor's score, whatever she picked. You didn't run this through the Scantron. I mean, this has to be done through Scantron. I'm sorry. The online test, not real. The verbal test, not real. If you're not filling in with number 2 pencil and sending it off to the lab, where I'm assuming the machinery to do a Scantron must be huge, it must take up this whole room, then you're not taking no test. That thing needs to go through extensive scans of the Scantron, which very expensive machine, and only the government has access to those machines.
You must have a
They
high
take up
IQ.
huge machines. They take a lot of power to produce those.
Would have rather they go, oh, you have ADHD. So
Well-
then I can know what to do instead of just be like, Well, I will tell you, I like who I am.
Ooh,
I'm going to tell you that.
Denny.
That I do like who I am, and I don't think...
I mean, look at her. Are you not sick to your stomach? How are you not sick? Listening to especially, how embarrassing would it be to watch your partner say shit like this? Wouldn't you be like, oh, God, I hope no one I know is watching. I'm humiliated. Aren't you sick? You like who you are after being divorced, left after 17 years? I'm sorry. You should say, I want to like who I am, but obviously there's some big problems.
I think that I'm necessarily, the asshole that sometimes I'm portrayed to be. I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying, like, out in the world.
Oh, so you're always portrayed as the asshole? Interesting. Wonder why. So listen to this. So everybody's thinking he's an asshole.
The asshole that sometimes I'm portrayed to be. I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying, like, out in the world. Where it's like, I think I'm just being logical.
Yeah, for sure.
Whoa.
Yeah. That is the I don't want an argument agreement tone.
Whoa.
Yeah, let's anyways, I have a story. Yeah, no, I've been there and I get it. I just don't know what to make of it. And I don't know, if they say you have ADHD, then you go,
anyways,
all right,
he's
well,
a big
here's a
show
list.
off. Want to hear a more visceral tale? Go to 3055. I can't stop thinking about this.
Okay, let's hear it.
Thing is, like, for a while we were kind of like, oh, he's so
She's on a
like
flight.
unusual for a flight attendant.
She's
in
on a
this
flight.
story.
Great. I love a flight. I'm a big airplane guy. You should have seen me on the plane. It was horrible. But big airplane guy. I understand airplane humor now. I was on the road one day of the year, and wow, I had a whole routine about the airport. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe my treatment
You guys
at the
should have heard
airport.
it. It was
You should have
great.
heard.
This is kind of fun. But then this is where things took a turn for me. So I poop on the plane sometimes.
Okay, I can't believe she just said this.
This is for you.
This is
babe.
really now. This is all coming back to me. She's talking about
Place
airplanes.
yourself in the Harkins Theater.
And she just said, yeah. So for those of you who don't know my stance on this, you go to the restroom before your shower, one time a day, tops. You go to the restroom while the shower is on. You finish what you do there. You completely remove the remnants. Then you get in the shower and you, with a disinfectant cleaner, clean everything up. And that is the only time you are to waste. You don't go shit at the mall. You don't shit at a restaurant. You don't shit while you're out at the movies. You don't shit outside your house unless you've been poisoned. And you have not been poisoned.
And you'd think someone as
have
strict
eaten
as Chad with
every
people's
meal.
behavior would agree.
I don't like these people going, hey, Taco Bell, what am I? I have Taco Bell every 5 minutes of the day. Hey, I went to Chili's. No. You have a bug. Something is wrong, and you need to go home. But they're stinking up. They're gassing up the room. I walk into a men's bathroom. I can't even go to a men's bathroom to grab a paper towel to wash my hands. You walk in.
You got to tell them about the club we went to in Calgary.
Oh, my God. You walk into a men's bathroom in a warmth. And we're so used to I shouldn't say me. I am not used to this. You're so used to this warmth of every other man's waist that you just casually walk around. You're talking, you're breathing in the air. Not me. I have really drawn a line. Like Eminem in the sand. You're either on one side of it or not. We were in Calgary. The name of the club, Commonwealth. It's a nightclub that she used to go to as a teen. Okay.
I was taking him on a teen tour of all my hotspots.
She wanted to see, let's see how this nightclub is that I used to go to when I was 20. So we go to this night, and by the way, in Canada, 18. You could drink at 18, so you're out going to clubs at 18. So we go to the Commonwealth Club. And boy, is this place a disaster. You had to wait in a line. You had to pay, what was it, 20 bucks, 15 bucks a person to get in. You got in. The music's terrible. The bar's terrible. The people are terrible. You could see all the young men on the hunt. Those disgusting men. Very, very dark. We go there. I go, I'm going to go to the bathroom to take a pee. And I go, oh, this is going to be a nightmare because there's probably going to be one stall. It's a nightclub bathroom. There's probably going to be some guy in it. And then I'm going to have to wait in the bathroom or go in and walk out. Usually if I see the stall is taken, I just walk right out and I wait. I walk in. There's 3 stalls. Okay, good. I open stall door number 1. Diarrhea and shit everywhere, all over the seat, all over the floor. I slam it. I then kick open the other 2 doors. I'm not kidding. Covered in diarrhea. I was cursing the room out. There were like 10 other guys in there just laughing it up, hanging out. I was furious. I wanted to tell everyone. I was walking outside going, have you seen the bathroom? Have you seen? So I go on their Insta. We leave immediately. And I'm yelling at all the security. I go, somebody got to clean the bathroom. Now, the club
also,
had just opened.
Everybody else here is 18.
The club, what time?
10:30. 10:30. So early.
So the club has only,
early.
listen to this. It's Friday night, right? Saturday night?
Something like that.
The club has only been open for 2.5 hours. So how in 2.5 hours did the entire I'm talking Gabrini Green Candyman, diarrhea and shit overflowing like toilets filled to the brim of shit and spilling over and no one saying a word. And this is in Canada. And I'm like about to throw up and I'm running out and I'm like, how could they not clean this? Seems like this should be shut down. So what I'm thinking is those toilets have been like that since last weekend. So I go on their Instagram and I call them out. I leave a Google review. I leave, I think, a Yelp review. I go on their Instagram. I write this long thing up. They deleted my comment immediately. I sent an email to the club. I messaged them on Instagram as well with my long rant about their bathrooms. All deleted. No response. They don't care. They're trying to cover it up. This is Commonwealth. Everyone go to their Instagram and talk about the shit all over the bathrooms. Nonstop. I couldn't believe it. I was really more offended.
The Boudoir Rouge, our favorite strip club bathrooms.
Spotless.
Perfect.
Like a whistle. So
licked the floor.
This shitting in public thing, to me, it's like a hate crime level thing. I mean, worse than this is a sexual assault to people, and we really need to grow out of this. We need to fix this. This cannot be happening. I don't think public bathrooms should have a place where you could shit. You take a pee or you get out. That's it. If you need to shit, call an ambulance. Listen to what Chad Daniels' girlfriend, Kelsey Cook, does on airplanes. Watch this.
So I poop on the plane sometimes.
Nope. Time out. Edit it all the time.
What the fuck? Every time she's on a flight, she takes a living shit.
I literally had to show you this because for 2 weeks I've been going, I gotta go take a Miss Daniels.
A Miss Daniels, yeah, that's what you could call it. I'll be back. I'm taking a Miss Daniels. So this is all really disgusting. I mean, I don't have to explain this to you. God forbid, and people got to sit by that. The door is opening. We're smelling the smell. Listen to this story.
The plane sometimes.
Nope. Time out. Edit it all the time. I've never been on a flight with you where you haven't shit.
Unreal. And they're working comics.
And we've been on the flights where they go, just so you know, due to the short duration of our flight, we're not going to be able to come around with a beverage and snack service.
I mean, you should be fined. Fined. This wasn't an emergency. You're holding it in till you get there, and then you make people wait. People want to go in and out of this bathroom. There's usually only 1 or 2. So you're creating a line while you go in there and take turds?
And you can't, I'm sorry, the airplane bathroom toilet paper